TalkTalk's reputation took a beating in the wake of last week's cyber attack, and the company may find its customers fuming for some time to come. The British phone and broadband provider has yet to explain how hackers infiltrated its systems. Nor is it known exactly how much data was stolen from TalkTalk and its 4 million plus users. Security experts say the hack appears to be a pretty basic technique, and now it's been revealed a teenage boy in Northern Ireland was released on bail in connection with the breach.
Obviously, in terms of the response itself, it hasn't really given any definitive answers in relation to, how an alleged person who is alleged 15 years of age can carry out such a hack from, relatively mundane equipment, relatively mundane in terms, obviously, of its approach. So, that's a huge cause for concern in terms, obviously, of how TalkTalk have been able to be breached to that particular level.
TalkTalk isn't alone. High-profile hacks of personal data are becoming more common. Sony Pictures suffered huge embarrassment when the emails of then CEO Amy Pascal were hacked and leaked to the global media. T-Mobile had the personal details of 15 million customers stolen in the United States. Even the CIA can be hacked. Director John Brennan had his personal email stolen, a fraudster tricking the telecoms company Verizon into giving him the account details.
In some ways, this has been a positive, the ways in which hackers out there have been able to damage reputations, but also the share price, ultimately, of companies that have been under attack. This is normally the stuff of movies, but it's now for real. And I think many companies and banks will review their cybersecurity policies in the light of TalkTalk.
Official figures in the UK revealed nearly 2.5 million cybercrimes took place in the year to June 2015, and there were many millions more worldwide.
Sarah Hemrajani reporting there. She also spoke to Jez Breslov from the software company Delphix and asked whether TalkTalk's reputation can recover from a hacking attack of this scale.
So it's definitely a PR disaster for TalkTalk. It's been pretty bad for them. Right from the moment of the outset, they took a little bit of time responding. However, this is more of a wake-up call to the industry, and the fact that this is just going to keep on happening to all companies everywhere. TalkTalk happened to be the one in focus at the moment. They've had 3 chances to try and deal with this and put processes in place in order to be able to respond quickly and effectively. So I think they've done a reasonable job. Customers are sure scared by the whole thing, and a lot of them are trying to leave. But I think it's actually more about simple processes in place for companies to put out for consumers to know what to do, when to do it, when these things happen.
Well, new reports suggest that European companies aren't spending as much on cybersecurity as their US counterparts. Do you think that attitude is going to start changing now?
I think it's already changing. I think a lot of it's being driven by this need for speed, more applications, more innovation, is raising the bar and requirements for companies to both deliver more but also secure it at the same time. Getting that balance is difficult, and maybe in Europe we focused a bit too much on the innovation piece and we're not really securing the back end of that process. But I think Europe's getting there. I think there are a lot of new tools, new technologies to help those companies. But I think this is a global problem, not just a regional one.
And which industries do you think are the most vulnerable to cybercrime?
Sure, well, clearly any industry that collects personal identifiable information is going to be sensitive to being stolen. The fact that a 15-year-old can go in and do this using a rootkit off the internet just shows you how easy it is. But of course, the banking industry, retail, utilities, telco industries, all of these companies are hugely competitive and always collecting information from the consumers. So is there a particular industry that's more sensitive than the other? It's going to be those ones that probably don't have the budgets to spend on security and don't have, their margins are tighter, therefore they're under more pressure. So industries like retail are under huge amounts of pressure to deliver more, but also make sure that whatever money they spend is really keeps their data safe. It's
interesting and alarming, isn't it, Kim, to hear talk that perhaps some companies are questioning whether they can afford to spend on internet security. I mean, this hacks, it begs the question, can they afford not to?
Well, absolutely. I mean, this TalkTalk incident in many respects is a huge wake-up call for companies around the world. I mean, as we were hearing there, Ty, is we're looking at potentially a 15-year-old boy in his bedroom with his laptop with the ability to basically hack into a huge company like TalkTalk. And very frightening.
It begs the question as well, tell whether the hackers are actually ahead of the security consultants, the security experts, in terms of what they're actually able to do.
Well, absolutely. I mean, as we said, we're not talking about professional hackers here. They are, in many respects, getting younger and younger. They have the know-how. It's a hell of a lot easier.